out. Hello, 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 hello. My earring is just going to do this the whole time. Me and my boyfriend, the microphone.
Do you remember yesterday when you had 3 earrings in one earring?
Oh, yeah. That one time when I came to your house and I had 3 earrings in one earring and didn't know. Yeah, I know.
I was like,
in one hole.
Allison, you've got a few earrings in that earring.
They were attached to the earring.
I
picked up this earring and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm missing the pair. It's fine. I'll just wear a different one. There goes Lorna. She's gone now, you guys. She was like, I'm over this. Travesty. Earring travesty.
Oh, that's so weird.
Now you're just
you're just a circle that vibrates.
I like it.
Who's behind door number 4? Who could it be? Is it Lorna Marshall? Do we know? Are we sure? Are we going to pick that
That's
door?
so weird. Hold on.
I love everything that's happening.
So weird.
Is it? Is it?
It
weird?
reminded me a bit. You know, where there's that senator or whatever, and he was in a meeting, and he says, "I'm not really a cat." It was a bit like that for me.
Yes, I do know that. That was an amazing video.
It's amazing.
Welcome, everyone. Please say hello if you're here. We're at the Foundation of 4. This has been, I don't know, a year in the making and working together and getting to know each other and how we work and taking turns. We are officially saying yes to moving forward as we've settled in our own foundational work together within our own circle of trust and growth. And so from this point out, we are here saying, we're here, we're here, we're here. And like the Who from Whoville, but larger, I guess. Unless we're on an elephant, which would, anyway, not important. So we'll be doing lots of these. So I encourage you to sit and tune in. Just if you haven't met us before, my name is Allison May. I am the co-founder of, sorry, my computer is doing a weird thing. So I don't know if it's me. Is it me? Anyway, I'm co-founder of Pellucidity in Life, or Pellucidity. And then this is the crew, you guys. We're all our circle together. These beautiful ladies have supported and loved me and pushed me and told me the truth for a number of years now. And I've finally listened to my heart and my soul and said, let's do this together. We are in this together. So we are here to help each other. Everyone here, if you're willing to do the work, we will find a way. So I thought we'd take some time so everyone can have the opportunity to get to know a little bit about us. And then we'll dive into what we do and what our favorite modalities are. I'm literally winging this, by the way, guys. I haven't talked to any of them about this. I'm just talking now. So I'm going to continue talking so everyone has preparation. And so if you haven't met everyone before, I encourage you, you can find Sami and I over on the Pellucidity page, obviously Kayleigh and Lorna too. Lorna hails her own business page and group called Moonlight Healing with Lorna Marshall. Kayleigh is of Magpie Moonchild. She has a business page and her own personal group called Magpie Moonchild's Nest. She also spearheaded and holds down the anchor in the spiritual development group. These ladies will change your life. Truly. They're incredible. They're kind. They're loving. They're truthful. I would not be here today without them. And all of you, of course, supporting us along the way has been instrumental in believing in us and trusting us. And so we continue to grow together. We're making for movement now in true form fast. And we think the sanctuaries are beginning to take form on the 3D world. The healing centers are being birthed. So in just a little more time, we'll get portals too, and we'll all get to travel super fast. And we're going to add some castles in there and maybe a unicorn. Who knows? Definitely dragons for sure. We've already got the Fae. If you haven't read The Horned Goddess by Dolores Cannon's book that just came out, they actually teach you the spell on how to unveil unicorns. I highly recommend looking into that and finding a rainbow. So that being said, today is the first time we've worked publicly in this way, in this capacity, in truth of our own being as of lights woven together. So I really just want to say thank you to everyone who's coming to check us out, who's tuning in either now or in the replay, trusting us with your preciousness, your path, your own unique frequency. You'll be seeing a lot of things coming out this year, which I have learned because I don't know time in this world will unfold in divine timing. So please keep an eye out on everyone. And you can catch Lorna in person at her own place on Ross on Wye, which is so beautiful. So if you're close to there or can get there, go there. Kayleigh is going to be finding her in more than just one place in her own magic. And so I'm excited for that to come through. And of course, Sami and I are rolling around in Bloomington, Indiana. We've got 3 people on the list. Hello to everyone who's joining. If you just want to take a minute and we're just going to kind of tune into each other. Allow ourselves to come into circle. To step forth in our true, unique, beautiful light frequency. All of it. Catching us here in between the no thing and the something. We are one voice, one heart, one mind, one soul. Let's get to it. If you are interested in receiving a full foundational 4 experience, you can toss that beautiful tool of money with the suggested donation is $44.44, and just take it to SaiYunaste. And I'm reading it now, foundational 4. We've got 3 people to start on the list, so I encourage you, if you're unsure, just to kind of feel it out and feel if it writes for you, and don't feel pressured. Always trust your inner authority, the yes or the no's. You know your path, and we're all here to help guide each other too. So that being said, Jackie, Joanna, and Mike, if you are here, please say yes. We are just going to go based on that. I think I saw Jackie. Jackie's here, so we can start. Jackie,
Joanna's
are you ready? Okay, good. I'm glad you guys. Great. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if there's anything specific that you want for healing or direction or guidance or anything, please feel free to put that in the comments. If you just want like a general thing to see what comes out, there are 4 of us, so it can get pretty crazy. That is so cool. I got smaller. We shrank. We're like little Smurf people now. Whee!
Do you want me to take it off?
No, I love it. No,
Okay.
I support this. I think this is great. It's like we're backing up before we get into the slingshot, right? All right, Miss Jackie, thank you so much for saying yes. Is there anything in particular that you would like us to focus on, or should we just dive right in and see what's there? Also, I'm being insensitized right now by incense, if you're wondering what this stuff is. What feels good to you? And we wait for the delay. This is the delay music. The delay music. Dive in, she says. Dive in, she says. All right. Mm-hmm. Right. So, Miss Jackie, right away, I'm getting a request from your team to kind of do a little bit of reprogramming in your crown chakra to really help just give some additional structure to how the information is coming in as you're opening up. Using Nancy's cards today too, which is even more fun. So we're just going to start right there. And from that point, it's just moving on. What I'm saying is this is going to just really help unravel things that have been rolling around in your brain to help put the pieces together to really give you that epiphany that you're looking for, that movement into the queen bee realm, and is the key for you to go ahead and really step in to what is out there, what is being offered to you. We're limitless, right? And when we really allow for that and to trust ourselves completely, anything is possible. So I will be muting myself now while I do the work. But what I ask of you, should this resonate, is to really tune in and kind of just go through the list of things that you want in life, things that make you happy, things that you've been dreaming of, and really kind of focus in on that. And then I'll just go ahead and get all of that settled up in your beautiful brain and work that through your system, so you have a more cohesiveness. Unfortunately, you won't be hearing all my screeching because I think there's going to be a lot of it. We're going to be in the way that the encoding dialects come through in a way that speaks. But I want to allow for my beautiful sisters to be able to speak. So I'm going to put myself on mute. If that's okay with everyone, does that feel good? Everyone?
If it feels good for you, it's good.
Great. I love it. All right. So I'm going to get started. And then who wants to go next? Who's feeling it?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. So, for everybody, I've been helping Jackie try and find her dog, Louis. Louis came again to me last night, and he's just saying, it just takes time. Okay, so it's weird. Right, so your first card was the grieving card, and this is all about Louis and your dog, and that you can't find him. But it's like I've explained in the past, that sometimes animals come to us and they give us that love and that affection, and they go on and they find that somebody else it's like having one of those animals that come into your life and then does something to us and then moves on into another family. And I feel that's what Lou is doing at the moment. He's going around and he's just wandering, he's going into people's lives and then opening something up, and then he just disappears again. I understand that more so. But with you as well, you have that willpower. I know you've been going through a hard time at the moment. And you have that willpower within you, because you can see things so much clearly now. And we all have to go through some shadow work. But we'll get there in the end, because you are that beautiful person within that will see the light. I've always said to you that Archangel Michael is always with you. I laughed, you got Archangel Michael, that came out. And it says you're working very closely with this powerful Archangel who's protecting and guiding you through this situation. You have that power within. You have that love that will help you get through what you're going through at the moment. I just feel really emotional when I see your name sometimes comes up. Because sometimes that when we have things good, something comes up and it just reminds us that sometimes being an adult isn't fun. And sometimes we need to go back and be in that happy place where we were when we were a child. So your last card, because they asked me to do like the fairy cards for you. And it says, embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. I feel with you, you just need to ground that a little bit more into Mother Gaia and to trust. And I do feel that you see Louis sometimes and you see situations. And I feel with you that you see things a lot clearly now that you didn't do. But Louis will be home. 100%. But he's got a mission to do. Yeah, Jack and Lily send loads of love. That was short.
That's beautiful.
Okay. All right. So Jackie, I picked for you. It says, I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust what I will focus on will grow. So that's kind of the overarching theme here. This is coupled with the gazelle and trust your feelings. And the gazelle is really graceful. It's very awe-inspiring, but it's also very hyper-vigilant. It's always aware of its enemies and its surroundings. So it's a prey animal, right? Essentially. So what I'm feeling for you is I'm always the practical steps girl. So what I'm feeling for you really is that it's really important for you to surround yourself with things that make you feel physically comfortable. That's how you're going to be able to really get back to trusting your feelings and accessing them a little bit more. Your emotion is power. Allison and I even have a whole podcast episode dedicated to this. Your emotions is where your power lies, but you're so in this place of scared that you're almost not even able to access the intuitive brain at this point because your lower chakras are so out of balance in this moment. So I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I will focus on will grow is the mantra, right? So it's really important for you to feel the safety and security. I've also rolled for you Capricorn and Venus in the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of pets. It's ruled over by Virgo. It's the hardworking. It's the servitude attitude. The gazelle is really a gratitude card too. So you've got a lot of like gratitude, service type things going on here. They always say one of the best ways to learn is to teach. And I think one of the best ways for you to find security is maybe to start providing some security for others too. So looking at the home and taking a look at what you've got there set up that's really grounding and healthy and good. Also, the 6th house with Venus combination to me means that the pet is kind of out there like spreading its love and its harmony and all of those types of things. Very soon, the immediate message I got. And then when Lorna was saying that, I was like, oh, there we go. Because it seems like the type of pet who, is like out there just doing its thing, sharing its love, and is going to be coming back soon. The last card I pulled for you is Uranus, genius. You have that genius inside. You can shake things up. You can rebel. You can change things. But you've got to, again, go back to being able to trust your feelings again. And the way you're going to be able to do that is through security. So hopefully that kind of makes sense and gives you a couple of practical tips moving forward.
Dope.
Okay, so what I have is Ten of Swords with a Page of Swords. The Ten of Swords can indicate an ending of a sort in that it is a level of the Ten of Swords is rock bottom, basically. It is things are never going to get worse than they are right now. And that is really crappy. I'm not going to lie. It's a really crappy place to be, but it means that it's not going to get any worse than it is right now. It's not going to be any more painful or any worse than it is right now. With that Page of Swords there, I feel that is, to me, frantic mind space. It is trying to think up 100 different scenarios, 100 different ways of trying to find a solution. And it is that panic, frantic kind of mind to me, in that when that's in a healthy space, that means that we can create new ideas and new ways of looking at something or trying new innovative aspects. But when that comes with that 10 there, that rock bottom frantic nature, it means that where we have this creative, beautiful mind space that can find 100 different ways to solve a problem, we're now, it's because it's in a place of pain, it's now doing 100 different worst case scenarios, and so it's going in that direction. So for me, the rune that came in with that was on Zeus, and it's really about controlling your thoughts at the moment, because the more you're focusing on negative, the more negatives and blocks are going to come up in this time. And I appreciate that's a lot easier for me to say than for you to do, but that's really with On Zeus. It's about, if we're trying to manifest a positive outcome, I'm not saying don't feel the pain. I'm not saying don't grieve. I'm not saying don't feel all the things. That's not what I'm saying. But to be focused on a positive outcome is perfectly okay, as long as you're not ignoring all the negative aspects that are happening. It's just saying don't focus as a destination goal or thought process emanating out into the world of negative. It's basically keeping hold of hope and focusing towards that mindset. When I come into the present energy, I have the devil with the star, which would suggest to me that there is perhaps fears coming up that stem from other places as well. So it's a bit like you're pulling on a thread of this current pain, but other things are knotted into it. And so when you pull this one, it's pulling all these old things as well with it. So really with that, it's about following back to, okay, yes, this is painful, and yes, this is horrible, and yes, this is, I was going to swear, but I'm not going to swear. It's not my channel. But there is this place of this need to, yes, try and keep that attachment healthy in the sense of I'm going to keep hope, I'm going to keep love. But with the star, to me, there is an energy of healing, as though, this is going to sound horrible, and it's not that I don't believe he's coming home, but you have to start healing as though he isn't, if that makes sense. You have to start grieving and moving forward, because I truly believe that when you are moving forward and you are having fun and things are a bit brighter, it's like that boyfriend, that love of your life, they turn up when you don't want them to, because you're busy doing something else. And I really believe with these two together, it's about you building up and making the home almost like, not like absolutely feel the grief, but it's almost like putting the light back in the home. And that's what you do when someone goes missing. You leave the light on at the porch so that they come home, they can find their way home. And I feel like it's about lighting up the home with joy and fun and laughter so that he naturally gravitates home. You have SaiYunaste with the Ace of Wands and the Chariot. So I truly believe that there is a joyful outcome to this, and that light will return, and that there will be a successful outcome, and there will be clarity. With the Ace of Wands, it really is about grabbing that opportunity to go and do things and go and have fun. And that really does tie in with that root chakra energy of, what do I need as a base level? What do I need from my lower chakras? What do I need to feel secure right now? What do I need to feel less fear? I'm not saying the fear is that he's not going to come home. I don't see anything here suggesting that he won't. What it's saying to me is you need to act as though he's not because he's not coming home, but because you have to start rebuilding, and you have to start being in a really secure, healed space. Because Louis wouldn't want you to not be happy, even though he doesn't understand. Obviously, he's gone on wandering. But with this, it is with the Chariot, it's about bringing balance back in. It's about, yes, I have to grieve, and I have to feel, and I have to be scared, but I also have to keep moving forward. And I also have to, balance that with fun and light, and not feel guilty for the light and the fun, because I truly believe he's somewhere playing with sticks somewhere. And as I was sat in the energy, sometimes I have these little weird visions that happen when I'm sat waiting for other people's readings to go on, and then I realize I'm not taking my turn because I've gone off on the rabbit holes. However, I did have bay laurel leaf, a wreath, and again, that's the sign of victory and triumph. So I do see, again, that ties in with SaiYunaste and the Chariot, and it's going to come towards a successful outcome. It's just going to need a bit of navigating, and bay brings in that energy of resilience and courage and strength as well. I was then given daffodils. Again, that for me is a timing kind of thing. That is springtime. Especially around in bulk kind of time, so the beginning of February, or those kinds of very early February kind of times, although that can lead towards it. The other place that it takes me to is the 1st of March, because that is the flower of Wales, and St. David's Day is the 1st of March. So I'm really feeling February, March time, that when there's daffodils around, there's at least news, if not a homecoming. That's what I'm feeling, that there is that kind of time with it. And again, that is rebirth and new beginnings. And it's almost like, well, when the daffodils come around, maybe there's this new beginning or this new hope or this new lead that comes in around that time. And with the other thing that I was given was a seagull, and it made me giggle because seagulls always make me think of Gail. Every time I go and see a seagull, it thinks of my friend Gail. But again, there's an element of perseverance and cunning with that as well. And they also bring in new leads. And when things feel barren and unproductive, unlikely places of new resources come in. And I truly believe that if he's not home by March the 1st, then there's a new avenue or a new perspective coming in to help give you some sort of direction on the path towards him coming home. But until then, it's really about keep moving forward, heal as though he's not, because he is coming home, but you can't keep living in the limbo. It's about, okay, I appreciate he'll come home at some point. I just need to put one foot in front of the other and start healing right now. That's what I have anyway.
Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah. Feels good. Feels like things will be as it should. So please let us know what resonates. Thank you so much for saying yes to us, Jackie. That reworking, I think, of your kind of system in your brain too, and your crown will really allow that, all of that, just an easier transition. You do live on a ley line that absorbs a lot of negative frequency and then reverberates it. You happen to be on that part of essentially the throat of the world. And the way that it does make so much sense that it's so easy, and just the environment naturally, just kind of like the cultural things that are happening around you. That's just kind of how it is. So that should help. I also heard making a checklist or like a list of positive things too is a good way to kind of get your brain starting looking, because our brains don't know the difference. This is what I'm teaching Reiki all the time. Our brains can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not. Everything is real to the brain. So tell it, have it start looking for good things. Just like all of these beautiful ladies are saying, good things come. Feels good.
I just think Louis on an adventure because he keeps coming back to me, and I go, right, okay.
He's a little dog too, right?
Yep. I think, isn't he? He feels a little. He feels like sterile-sized.
Maybe like treat him like a cat and be like,
yes,
like when I want my
it just made me laugh. That literally looks like, hey, I'm going to throw a stick. That was in the future, so you will be throwing sticks at some point again.
Thank you. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, so please stay connected and keep us posted. I know you're very, Lorna's very in tune with the search, and it's tough, but it's going to be good. It needs to be. So thank you so much. All right. Next on the list. Oh, thank you, Kelly, so much. So we still have space. We usually, just so you guys know, we usually hold space for about 2 hours. We don't really do like a cutoff number. It is what it is supposed to be. We just really want to honor our own time. So we always, if it ends up going over that, we will set a date and we'll reach out to everyone. So if it starts to really, sometimes it just takes off and like we just can't get it all in, and we want to honor everyone's time. So occasionally we do some shifting. Sometimes you'll get a recorded thing from all of us that we could do, or at a different time we'll figure it out. So just know that you're in the right place at the right time, and we're going to continue on our way. So Jackie, thank you so much. Next on the list, we have Joanna. Whatever is needed, Joanna. Yes, I'm not even going to pull the cards for this because your guides and our beautiful mother goddess have been pretty much just sitting over here sharing all of their little bits of guidance and things they want you to know. As always, congratulations and, support, and just continuing to turn in and trusting yourself and knowing what that is. Your travels in the world are more healing. It's not just even for the earth. This is what, Guy is saying. It's not even just for me, but it's for my children too. So there are some contracts that you've walked by, that you've come through, people you've met. Maybe it's in like in a shop or on a trail or something that you just have like a brief interaction with. but there's something in the vibrational energy of your voice that really kind of shatters the illusion of separation. And so there's a feeling after you leave, they're saying, is that people just feel more connected to their surroundings and to others, and thus that's like a butterfly effect, right? It spreads like wildfire in the way. That's what they're showing me. And how you've gone through the emotional waves. So what I'm hearing is to really tune in and see what your emotional waves are like, and however you know yourself, you're they're just teasing me because they're like, she's just so, sometimes we're so tuned in that we forget that we're tuned in, because it becomes such a natural part of us. So there is just kind of like that nod to saying that the way that you've been sharing that and how you've been supporting others and is really just such a blessing for the collective in and of itself too. There's something about Ishiana kosoya ti inia toro kraki ishia. They're just gonna want me to tell you directly. Bora iki nashatoro ishi ni hahaya no nia sotoro si. Kia toro inaki ishi nia sotoro ana hahasha na iati. Toro ihi mia nahara ashati I. Akuro ihishi nia saturu iana araki shiaturu I. Kana amati I ki ti shiano sotoro. Kariasa I siano sotoro. It's the way that you connect with source too, your own vibrational frequency within the tapestry, right? Within the entire tapestry of everything. And there is kind of like this call for you to go to search for the place in those schools and in those records of seeing how your thread weaves and how it's lit up in the entire tapestry. So you have a Nyakos Oyanakraki. It's like it awakens this ability to transfer that knowledge from one to the other, of a knowing on the path of what is. I hope this makes sense, because they're just kind of coming at me with this. To stay connected with your tools. I'm hearing that your tools are missing you. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. And to know that you're always home. No matter where you go, you are always home. I just like, Gaia is just kind of coming up, like, and it's just looking like this golden light. And as the golden light kind of fractals out, it's turning into these little teeny, like iridescent, almost like mother of pearl butterflies. And then how they're just kind of rippling depending on how the sun's hitting it from above. And it's like looking at like different, like the rainbows there, right? And then as you back farther out of the picture, right? Because you're looking at it, it's like your throat right here opening up, and there's all these butterflies. There is something very specific at this time about using your voice and what that means. So I hope that makes sense. You can sing with your eyes. Okay, I got it. I got the direct message, you guys. Woo! All right, I'm done. I hope that's enough homework for you. Enjoy. Thank you so much.
Do you want me to go next?
That feels good. Does it feel good to you?
Yeah. So as you were talking, I literally was transported into woods. And it's like the last 6 months, sorry, they were saying that you've been on that mission to find who you are and what you're about and what your soul purpose is. And you're definitely an earth child, earth angel. but it's like you have that ability to put your hand, or, you know, when you're saying about the eyes, you can look through a bark and see the heart of a tree. You have that. And you can see the little people, and it's sort of like you have, when you're surrounded by woods and trees and weeds and anything, it's where you come alive the most. But I also need to say to you, you need to reground yourself and give gratitude to spirit, because sometimes we forget about things like this. And please forgive me, it's the ego as well. I'm a big thing about ego at the moment, because at the end of the day, I'm blessed because I'm a channel. So is everybody here. But we have to be careful how we say things. It's not it's not whatever. It's I'm blessed. So your guides can use you as that channel to do their work on this earth. There might be something that you might disagree with me in a minute, but I need to say it, because if I don't say it, I'm going to take it back with me. And that's how spirit works with me. So your first card is through gratitude, joy expands. You are that beauty. You have the butterflies. You have, when I sometimes think about you, I just feel like you're that fairy that can go off and do what you like and expand what you want to do with your life. And I know there are things more coming for you for the next few months. And I do believe this year is going to be really good for you. So you've got faraway places, get ready for new horizons. So it's like, reground yourself, have that gratitude. Thanks, Spirit, for using you. We need to realign sometimes with ourselves. And I did laugh because they told me to bring the fairy deck with you, because you are that fairy, you have that love, and it's all about magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, being assisted by magical fairy blessings, the fairies say you can bless others too. And that's what I see you. You're in the woods and you're just dancing along. And what I am going to say to you now is, please do not take this the wrong way, but I have to say it. But do you remember that film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where the Wicked Witch would come along to you and give you that apple and tempting? And literally, as I was thinking of this, you got temptation. Don't get drawn into arguments. Always remember where you come from, because sometimes people, they're spiteful, they're jealous, and sometimes we forget about that because we've grown in our own way and we're just so happy. We forget what happens and what has been said about people. And don't get caught in the crossfire and don't get drawn in, because you have to be careful, because there is the Wicked Witch out there and they will draw you in for their own needs, not for your needs. It would be for their needs. So I need to just make you aware of that. But you're such a beautiful person and you bring the sparkle to people. I would just don't want people to ever hurt you. But there again, that's how we grow, isn't it? We do the dark, we do the light, and we learn and we go, right, we won't be doing that again. But you really do need to be really careful at this time. And also I feel with you that you need to do some inner healing as well, because sometimes our emotions take over. I'm just a bit different. I see things from a different view, and I'm probably not good at explaining some things to people, but just be careful that magic, that apple, because they're greed, and I wouldn't want that to happen, because you're so beautiful. And you've got Archangel Raphael, the healing angel, with you, supporting your healing work. So I do love you lots, and you're just lovely. but we've all got to be careful, haven't we, of the witch. There we go. Sorry, I hope you don't take offence to that.
I love
I
when you get
finished.
All right. So for you, I've got oneness is my true nature. I've got the golden egg. And then you pulled you are safe and protected. It's a root chakra card. And then Aries, I am. So there's a lot of red going on here, which is very rooty. Aries is kind of, every single sign has a high road and a low road, right? A good and a bad, if you want to think of it that way, although I never do. But a lot of people do perceive it that way. So Aries is really passionate. They're very good at serving and taking care of themselves. They are very good at like sparking things and getting the ball rolling on stuff. They can also be very impulsive and a little bit easy to anger if triggered in just such a way. It can be like this, like, whoa, all of a sudden out of nowhere explosion. All the fire signs can be a little that way. So the golden egg is a heart chakra card. And this card is really whenever I've pulled it for someone, it's time for them to go kind of in a deep state of rest. So yoga nidra might be kind of important for you right now. Doing some kind of really long meditative restful things. Really, really important for you because you need to get back in that like safe womb space. You are safe and protected. And I think it's actually really good that your guides are saying like, we will handle things for you if you take a little time off to rest. We will keep things safe and afloat for you. If you do go out there and like impulsively do things, I do get the sense that there will be some emotional backlash for that from other people around you. Kind of that Aries nature, low road side. I rolled Uranus and Virgo in the second house for you. And so Virgo is very much about like the way that you serve and what you do and how you organize your life. Uranus is filled with unexpected changes. It's rebellion. And the second house is the house of your priorities, your work life, your work ethic, your habits. So it's all about being eccentric in what you choose to do. If you try to copy, this is what your guides are saying through the dice. If you try to copy anyone else's system or the way that they do things or anyone else's services or anything like that, it's not going to yield as much income return for you. It's not going to fill your soul and provide that like gratitude thing. Virgos, they love to serve, but what they love even more is to be appreciated for all the service that they do. If you don't appreciate a Virgo for what they do, then it will turn really quickly. And so isn't there like a troll or something that does that where it like serves you for so long, but you have to like compliment it or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some childhood story about that. Anyways, yeah. So if you try to do anything the way that other people do it, you have to be an Aquarius in that way of just like getting out there and doing these wild, unpredictable things, these things that nobody else would think to do because they're not you. You have this beautiful you-ness, right? That the world needs. And if you're not out there doing that, or you're not out there creating, I'm not saying that like you can't work with anyone else or you can't participate in something that's somebody else's idea. But getting really unique with the things that you offer is going to be what drives the most income for you and what fills your heart up the most and makes you feel the most fulfilled and appreciated for what you do. So taking time to rest, yoga nidra, making sure that everything that you create is unique to you.
I'm not lost. I'm fine. Okay. First thing, I don't even know where to start. Right, okay. The first thing I had is I was shown grey bunnies, and at first I was like, oh, that's so cute, it's so exciting. Until I looked in the symbolism, which it is exciting. However, well, it is and it isn't. I'm not gonna lie, and you know I'll tell you both parts. The grey rabbit itself, bunnies themselves are about rebirth and the potential and new cycles very much on the horizon. And I feel for you as spring comes in, it just things abundant. I feel like when Persephone returns from the underworld, boom, you're back up with her. Spring comes. I feel like you're in the underworld right now. I literally, I'm sat here and I'm going, I've been staring at I bought a pomegranate candle last week and I'm like, why? And then I realized pomegranates are Persephone. That's how she ended up in the underworld. And I do feel, I don't know if you have a resonance with Persephone as a goddess, because she is queen of the underworld and the goddess of spring. And it's just, I truly believe you have both parts in you. And I think it's time for you to embrace the underworld part of yourself, because you've got real power there. However, the grey bunny itself, any other bunny is grey and fun and beautiful, except for the grey bunny, because the grey bunny represents somebody that is the embodiment of someone who is trying to trick you. So I don't know if you have someone who's saying one thing to you and very much leading you up a garden path. This feels real life, not internet life. I know all of it is life, but this to me feels like there's someone in your actual life that is trickstering with you. That's what it feels like. And they're coming across very cute and friendly, and I do believe by springtime you're going to realize who that is. First of all, in the past, you have the Five of Swords and the Ten of Wands, and I'm glad that's past energy. But it shows itself as, to me, looking back to times where you have been taken advantage of and looking at the ways that you have overwhelmed yourself or taken on too much through a sense of duty or guilt tripping or being handled in certain ways, because there have been people around you that have taken advantage and it's all their own way. And I feel with this that you have been putting boundaries up and doing all those good things, all that work on you. And that's really because the rune that come in between that and the present is Gabo, and Gabo is about give and take and energy exchange and making sure that you have these healthy relationships. So I'm really glad that you are doing that. It's also about embracing your gifts that you have. In the present, you have the Eight of Swords, and normally the Eight of Swords is about having a lack of confidence. I don't feel that. This one has a candle with a boundary around it and the Eight of Swords around it. And I think for you, this is continuing to allow your light to take up space. And I think you're good. You know what you should and shouldn't tolerate now. And I think what you now need to do is allow yourself to take up space in that. You're like, yes, I deserve my place at the table. Now it's for you to take up the space in the room as well. Yes, I'm in the room. Yes, I'm at the table. Now it's about expanding on that. I don't know if the thought of that fills you with anxiety, because I've got the Nine of Swords in the future, but I will get to that in a moment. What I then have on the bottom is the Six of Swords, and I do think this is you. This is you working through old stuff as it comes up, being reflective. Mercury retrograde was probably really good for you to be reflective and to sit and to go back to past energies and to take the lessons without perhaps acting on things through Mercury retrograde, and really sitting in that in a powerful way. But I feel like you're in the process of moving forward. Like, we're not in survival mode anymore, but we're not thriving just yet. It's like we're in this tween place where we're starting to go, okay, things aren't frantic and terrifying anymore, but I know I still have healing to do, and I know I still have growth to do before I feel like I'm really thriving and flying. As we go into future energy, I have Hagalaz with Naudis. And I do feel that sometimes with that Hagalaz, I don't feel like that's necessarily things that are coming in. One, I do think that comes in with that person who's trying to trick you. I do feel with Hagalaz, for me, sometimes that's backstabby, gossipy kind of energy that finds its way round into you eventually, not directly. Sometimes it comes in that way. And with Naudis, I feel like that's something within a community environment that you live in. So whether this is a friend or a work community or something around, there's somebody doing something, and it will find its way back to you. I don't think necessarily it will do major damage to you, because I don't think it will necessarily completely surprise you when you hear it. Before it would have broken you. This time I don't think it's going to. I think it's like, well, fair enough. But there is this energy of, okay, at least I know now. And it does get better, I promise. But with that, I do think that there is a sense of still seeing things as a potential negative outcome that could happen and keep trying to prepare for it all the time. So maybe it's about breaking that down a little bit and being more in the moment and knowing that when something comes up, you do absolutely know what you need to do in that moment. It's like a hailstorm, right? The first time you stand in the hail and you get hit and it hurts. The second time you go, oh, it started hailing, I need to get to cover. So you know what to do if it hits. You don't need to keep worrying about carrying an umbrella with you on a sunny day in case the hail hits you that day, because you'll know what to do when it happens. So I think it's really about focusing what you need in this moment, not what you might need if XYZ happens. So it's about bringing it back into the present. Into the future energy, I have the 10 of Cups, which is really good because that's you growing and thriving with others around you. I think your circle is with this grey rabbit happening. I do feel that that's purifying your circle, and I really do believe that you're finding these people that you resonate with, and you're finding your actual people. And I also feel like you're stepping into a circle in the sense that you're realizing that your people's equal, not less than. Like I deserve to be here in this space, and to celebrate my place in that space, and that I am sunshine, and that I do, and I really want to cry, and I do feel that I am worthy of everybody else that is in my circle. I am an equal, just because do you know what I mean? I deserve not that you didn't anyway, but there's a difference between being told it, and then there's a difference between knowing it, and then there's a difference between knowing and believing it. And I think you're in that knowing space now, and it's coming to that place of knowing and believing it. And that's what that difference with the 8 of Swords is. It's like, I know I deserve my place at this table, I now just have to believe it. It's moving through that space, and that's really what you're battling, to be honest, is your own belief in that you are good enough, and you're telling yourself and you're knowing it now, but it's now getting to that I believe it without doubt. And it's just, that's what's coming in for you. I was also given Croatia, first of all, as a place. I don't know if that has any significance to you, but I was given a goddess, Lada or Lada, Lada. She's a Slavic goddess. I think that's about you. It does have ties to Poland and Polish like things there. So absolutely, I would recommend going. And she does have, to me, a similar energy to Persephone. So I wonder if that's why Persephone came through in that way. She's also ties to Mars and things. Anyway, she's incredible. Very, very, very Freya-like as well. Anyway. And then I was given a peony, which is funny because although it symbolizes shyness, empathy, wealth, and good luck, and all these things, it's also the state flower of Indiana, which I thought was hilarious with Allison and Sami on the live. But also it made me giggle because the Victorians got a lot of things wrong. But the Victorians believed that they were cursed by fairies, and I just thought that was so funny with your fae connection. Anyway, but yeah, she's got a peony, so go and have a look into peonies as well. And then I was really drawn to petrified wood, and part of the peony thing that I saw was to do with skin, and so is petrified wood. There's something about a skin, so if you're worried about anything on your skin, and I feel like it's face related for some reason, go and find the places to go and get that sorted. I don't think it's anything major, but they both come up with these things with the skin thing. So I don't know if that's worth looking into that. But yes, also petrified wood is just, I love mine. I've got a chunk of it here. I love petrified wood. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I have. Done.
Awesome.
I promise I've stopped now.
No, it goes until it's complete, right? Joanna, thank you so much.
Oh.
We love you so deeply. You're incredible, amazing light. And anything you do is just magic. So thank you for sharing your magic with us and allowing us to be in your energy. Mike, Bo, bike, Fanana, Fana, Fo, Fike, me, my, mo, Mike. Mike. Is he here? I see his higher self, but is he here physically?
I haven't seen him as a
Right.
physical person on the thing, but you can always timestamp it.
Yeah.
He was in at the very beginning, but I haven't seen a comment from him.
Here.
Oh, he's here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Mike, you want to do something crazy?
I love how everyone's going, he's here. Yes.
I love it. Great. So remember that one time when we were in Florida and we buried some Lamarian seeds crystals? I think your higher self is over here giggling, by the way. It's hilarious. I think we're going to connect to them, and then everybody's who's here and who says yes to this will get a third eye upgrade through your abilities around. So this also, of course, includes you too, because I know that you know, there's been so much for that, and you just are always there for so many people. So your higher self is like, let's do all of us. Like, why go small? Let's go big. So great. Okay, cool. So this I'm actually gonna like speak and so people can hear it. So anyone who is wanting a third eye rewiring, upgrade, and opening, say yes, and then also take your right hand and take your thumb and your first finger. This is for structure. And then start here. And then when you're feeling the frequency change for you, move down the line to all of your fingers, 3 fingers together, 4 fingers together. And then just allow your hand. So when that's all completed, once I'm finished, I'll do me. So if you want to follow along, that's fine. Because I'm going to do me too, because let's get at it. That's kind of fun part about healing, right? They're like, it's like limitless. And then we'll kind of do, when it's ready, I'll just bring my hand up and out to show completion. And then, yeah. Is everyone feeling good about this? Okay. So just take a deep breath. I'm going to put my feet on the ground because I think this is going to be... I don't think, right? We feel it. We know it. It is in our way. Ini Yashikudutu Ushiniakat as is imut Ursha. Hiana Harahuruhishi Aturuhi Hariata. Tus Iniakut Arkiamas at Nas Huras Haras Hiras Anas Arash Ura Ki Turu Ini Hara Hia Shuru Huru Hana Ha. Right. So allow that to integrate as you see fit. I encourage everyone to connect with their inner authority, their higher selves, their team. Decide how and at what level you want this to be integrated and how it unfolds. If it's feeling really big, go ahead and it's not the proper time in the human world to say pause and to request for it to be completed while you're sleeping or resting. I'm also hearing requests from those crystals themselves too, to do energetically find them in the sand. For those who follow the story of the Essenes, something they talked about in many of the books that have come across my way is something Yeshua always did and taught all of his circles, and what we all have this energy within us. So to find a rock, any rock, and just pick it up and pour your energy and love into it and bless it, and then just put it right back down where you found it. And allow that to vibrate out. So, and as we continue to grow in our sight, we'll be able to, see those glowing rocks that we've left for each other as little gifts along the way, all over the world. So. There's just so much love for you, my beautiful friends. It is an honor and a joy and a pleasure. Nia shoto I nia si ia kotora hishi yanara ha shanaya o. I ishi iaka yana shatara uhi ishi iniaha daya huhiyashi hana huhoya ai iya shato yana ya huhoyana I iyasha ahiyana a. May we continue to share our blessings with each other. Okay, I'm done.
Can I go last this time? Honestly, when you did that, it was like television, but it was going up and down, and it was like, ooh. Oh, you transported me somewhere. I've come back to Rome.
That's amazing.
That's mad.
Awesome. Hey, Mike. So what I've got for you. First of all, you rolled Uranus and Pisces in the 12th house. The 12th house and Pisces both speak of massive karmic closures, massive karmic cycles, diving into the spirituality of things. It's kind of that in between life and death stage. Your subconscious is really, really, really screaming to be heard over the ego right now. It's got a lot to teach you, and your higher self is definitely walking with you very strongly right now. You're also feeling a lot more emotional. So I encourage you to express your emotions, as the card says. This is a third eye card as well. Again, hearkening back to Jackie's reading when we talked about how emotions are so powerful. Same is true for anyone, right? So the way to access that intuition a lot of times starts in the emotional response. It kind of tells us where to go and leads us. The card you got was I surrender to a power greater than me. So again, like, super important for you to kind of tell the ego, thank you so much for doing the beautiful job that you've been doing, keeping me safe, and really allowing others to take care of you and hold you through these moments. Because as you dive deeper into the third eye, into the emotion, things are going to be brought up. Karmic cycles are going to be brought up to look at, and this new round of shadow work is birthed. And with it comes all of these really unexpected changes, just like you rolled Uranus, so just like Uranus brings unexpected changes, all of these emotions are bringing that too. Another card that you got was the Otter. The otter is very playful. It doesn't worry. It just splashes about and has the best time. It's very, very celebratory in nature. So if you can find moments to celebrate the good, that's really, really important. Not waiting for the other shoe to drop. expecting that more goodness is around the corner. These are all going to be kind of, it feels to me almost like a fake it till you make it scenario right now in some ways. And that's okay. We've all been there before sometimes. And it doesn't necessarily, like, even though it's like a fake it till you make it, sometimes, other times the real emotion comes out and it's raw and it's true and you've got to feel it and go through it. But I guess just don't be suspicious of the good stuff, if that makes sense. All of it is genuine. So if the good stuff is coming through, just let it happen to you. Don't be suspicious of it. The last card I pulled for you was Saturn, Truth. You're really starting to be an authority on truth. That's what this upgrade is about for you, is what I'm hearing. And so truth in discernment, sure. Truth in emotion, truth in the divine masculine, truth in combining that with the divine feminine. There is a lot of there's just a lot of expertise that you've gathered so far. And the subconscious is really trying to push that to the forefront of the mind right now, I guess. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And I wish you all the best, as always. Always great to read for you.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is just fucking cry. Sorry, I swore. Flipping cry. And
I will say.
there is a wolf and it's howling. And as it's howling, I don't know if you remember the film Hook, where there's the lady screaming, going, the children are screaming, the children are screaming. And they literally keep showing me that over and over again. And there's some sort of screaming child in a child pain right now. And that is separate from what the message is. That's really weird. But that's what this wolf is howling. And there's something about blending the feminine, allowing the feminine to come and blend and merge with the masculine. It doesn't have to all be masculine. It actually, it's alchemical that we need both, and we have both within us. And we are taught to separate the two and have a binary. And it's really important that we don't do what we're taught, that we blend and go back to wholeness and oneness. Anyway, okay, so the first thing I have, and it actually, alchemy comes through a lot in your read today. There's a lot of alchemy. I believe you were making progress with alchemy, or there was something about alchemical, or whether that's the Kabbalic or similar kind of elements of alchemy, or whether that's old occult, because I was given Hermes, and Hermes is just Thoth in Greek, or is it Greek? Yeah, Greek. And yes, because it's Mercury in Roman, and that's all it is. It's the same principle, just in different languages. And I think there's something in that. There's about these things in different languages, and breaking that all back to alchemy. There's an element of healing, and I feel it's Kabbalah. There's something in Kabbalic alchemy for you there that maybe you had before, or were inspired or thought of before, or sent in some way. That quest hasn't gone. It's there when you're ready to take that quest again, whenever that is. Because there is a lot. There's something about Arctic spaces holding answers for you, and I don't know. That's what they said. There's something in Arctic spaces, or in the Arctic Circle somewhere, that you are a messenger of inspiration to inspire others. You are a messenger that will inspire others. Maybe not direct. Well, there is maybe direct teaching, but I feel like it's about putting messages where they need to be, and that those messages will inspire. I was given a green apple, which is a symbol of health and well-being. And there was something about that was about neglecting your health for some reason. And I get big things, or I've gathered that big things are happening. That's why I want to cry and scream. And when big things happen, we neglect ourselves. And we can do that in multiple ways. Some people, I mean, when you sit Shiva, like in the Jewish tradition, you don't wash, you don't do things, you do all sorts of, there's like a whole week of things that we do when we grieve or when we're processing stuff. And I don't know why they give that. And I literally learned about that from Grey's Anatomy. That is in no way an authority. That is a thing they do, sitting Shiva, and they, you know, you don't cook, people bring you food or whatever. But there's that kind of energy with this pain and this need to, you know, allow people to come and support you, allow people to help you if you need it. Don't neglect your needs, and don't neglect yourself and your health. Because the next thing I was given was this is really random, ewe's milk, sheep's milk, which I appreciate. We're coming up to Imbolc, and that's literally where the name Imbolc come from, is ewe's milk in old language. But I was like, oh, well, what properties does it have? And it lowers cholesterol, it strengthens the bones, it boosts the immune system, it stimulates growth and development, it reduces inflammation, lowers blood pressure. So again, it's really going into that whole well-being and making sure you're looking after yourself and balancing and making sure you're not neglecting your physical vessel in any way. I had the 10 of Cups here, and I know I just had that in Joanna's, but in this one, it just feels like people coming around you and enjoying the process of being around people that matter to you in whatever way they matter to you. It doesn't feel like it's smooth, plain riding in any way, but it's important that there's a gathering together in a present moment. That's teamed with Daggers, and I feel like there are phases of up and down. And we have that in friendships, we have that in families. You know, there's light and there's day and there's all these things in between, and I feel like there's a whole spectrum of stuff going on for you right now, and there's waves, ups and downs, and it's that will settle. Right now it's about responding to where you are at the moment. You have the 2 of Wands in the current moment, and that is, have a plan of things that you want to go and do, but you don't have to do it right now. It's having that vision of where it is you want to go and just living in the moment of where you are right now, because I feel like there is a new beginning journey coming for you. And you do, with the Ace of Wands, there's a new beginning. With the green apple, there's a new beginning. Ewe's milk has literally happens because there's a new lamb been born. So there's a new beginning in that as well. So there's all these different things about these new beginnings and a new way of being. And if it's not right now, then it's at least on the horizon for you. And obviously Imbolc is the quickening, it's the latent potential starting to emerge with snowdrops and stuff. So it's all these things, spring on its way, but not quite here completely yet. You have Tia going forward into the future with the Crown of Wands, which is the King of Wands, but also the Devil there. And I'm not necessarily getting unhealthy attachments necessarily, or yes, there will be healing and things coming up for you. And it doesn't that. I literally am being shown direct, keep your direction of what it is, stay true to you, keep moving forward for you. With the Devil card there, it's not the devil on the card, it's actually Baphomet, and Baphomet is the blend of as above, so below, masculine and feminine blended, animal and human also being blended as well. And I think it's about separating binaries into a blended spectrum for you. And I think that's the path going forward. It's about, it doesn't have to be duality, it just is. And it's getting your head out of a binary mentality and finding the blend and the beautiful mix of everything and allness and oneness, and that it isn't just black or white. There's a whole color spectrum, not even in between, just everywhere. And it's getting out of the head of it has to be a contained, framed thing. That chaos is a thing. It doesn't have a container, but everything is within it. And it's about breaking down that block thing. I think that's where the expansion happens with you, and where the alchemy really starts to happen is when you realize it's not as above, so below. It's the blending of the two, that as above is the below, and the below is above, and it's all the same thing. It's just the way they translate it and they bring it in is the power is in the fact that it's a oneness. And actually when they teach you that it's two separate things, that's when you lose your power and you're disempowered. And I think it's really about going into that space of, does it have to be two separate things? Why isn't it all one thing that's all the same thing? Anyway, that I feel like that's a side quest for you, and that's what I have anyway. I hope that made some sort of sense. I'm trying really hard not to swear on your page.
Girl,
anyway.
fucking swear. Get it.
And I don't know
Wow.
why that's important. I feel like my auntie's mad at me on the corner going, do not swear.
Which is so funny because I think out of all of us, I probably swear the most. Because, you know.
I'm still muted, probably.
Oh, I love you.
I can feel her. She's looking at me. So she's like, do not swear. I told her to suck off once, and I said suck because I fully intended to say, but I got away with it with an S. And my dad went, you know what you meant, and I know what you meant, and you will go and I went, I didn't swear, so I'm not apologizing. And she sat there scowling at me.
That's funny. Well, you haven't heard mine yet.
I know, I'm ready.
If you ever remember Master of the Universe, oh my God, I've been up with the universe with him. Oh my God. So when you did that with the third eye, it literally took me to Rome. So I'm literally sat on my little stool, because I sometimes sit on the stool, whatever. And Mike came in, but he was a master sculptor. Is that the right word? Sculpture? Yeah. He like creates, yeah. But with Mike, he gets his ass out because he likes things to a T. He likes perfection. And then all of a sudden, I'm sat there going, Mike, it's absolutely fine. You've just done a massive sculpture and it's beautiful, but you're not happy with it. And it was just weird. And then all of a sudden, Master of the Universe came down and went, whoa, let's go. And it's sort of like, Mike took my hand, we're going in the universe. This is so bizarre, Mike. And it's sort of like, and we sit on the moon. And I look at you. Oh, this is hard. We can all be master of the universe. We can all be, you know, we like Mike, you're the protector. And I mean, you looked after me that once, I'm telling you now, because I had an attachment, but that's another story. And you were there as well, and you got rid of it because I couldn't see it. So that's another thing. But my guides, like Selena's saying, you might be master of the universe, but you have a heart, you're sensitive. And if you dwell into yourself a little bit, I just feel like, you know, you get that lost boy that never been loved, or nobody understands you. And I feel that is within you a little bit. And I know you don't want people to worry about you, but that's up to them, isn't it? It's what's right for them. So if somebody wants to worry or like take care of you, that you have to allow that. But what you've just become this beautiful person that you would go, here's a swearing, don't take no shit from anybody. If it's not in line with you or in line with the spiritual world, you just won't have it, because you'll go, right, that's not on, and it upsets you how some people act. But do you know what? That will come back, because when people are wrong and they do things for a wrong reason, their love and their joy and their spirit goes away from them, and people actually notice. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight coming out with all this, because I don't normally say things like this. Anyway, I picked your cards from the Guiding Light deck, okay? Your first card was Inner Guidance. It's time for you to pay attention and listen to the guidance of your soul. And you also had a line with your wholeness. You are not your illness, symptoms, or habits. You, the person, are always whole and perfect. And I so agree with that in some respects. But we also just want you to realize and allow people to worry about you sometimes, because actually you are a sensitive soul. And I got a rabbit. That was really funny when you were on about the rabbit. Strengthen your boundaries and cut the cords. And then you've got Ascension, awaken to your soul potential. And by the way, Luna and Bella always come to me, and I know when things are wrong because they tell me. So that if anybody knows, that's Mike's dogs. I just don't know why, but since I've done that pet readings with you lot, animals come to me, and I know when things are wrong. But it's okay. It's okay to cry within. But you sometimes you can't be master of the universe all the time. You have to allow your inner self to heal. Yeah, and I'm going to get upset. But anyway, lots of love. But you do everything so well, and you sculpt things well, and you create things well. But you've just got to allow that time to grieve as well. Yeah. Finished.
Lots of llama licks. Lots of llama licks and love. And spit.
When she said you're a little boy who just was misunderstood, the hook thing made sense because they go back to Neverland and they're all lost boys who were misunderstood and run away from home. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Amazing. It's all connected, man. That's what happens when we get together. Beautiful. Thanks, Mike, so much. We love you. Thank you for allowing us into your energy and for supporting a third eye activation. Woohoo! You always get a little bit good. Miss Kelly.
You're here. Come on down. There comes a time in our life, we take that moment and we're standing on the precipice and we can know it,
We can feel it, and we know that big change is coming, and it's because of how we continually climbed up to this summit, no matter what. And it doesn't matter
how long it takes or how many times we trip or get lost or it rains or there's a mudslide or any of that. And we keep going and we keep going and we keep going. We keep looking for the sun and we keep allowing the wind to blow and, rest and all of that. Your team, when we sit together,
it's just so beautiful because that's what we do. We sit and we all look back and think, God damn, girl, you done good. And really, this 2023 year for you is, they're telling me that these beautiful women who I'm sitting in circle with are really going to identify some beautiful things. But they really want you to take a moment every day and thank yourself because you did the work. When you saw, there are times, yes, because sometimes we are the villain. Sometimes we are the victim. Sometimes we are the hero. Sometimes, right? The only consistent thing in this beautiful planet is change. And, over time, I find it so beautiful that more and more animals are coming to your hill and that they're increasing their families and they're finding safety there. And so much of that is because you're continuously creating that safe space within yourself. And being a human is not easy. Being loved and loving is not easy. Relationships are not easy. you know, we've agreed to these roles, right? And we get here and we're like, hot damn, what the hell were we thinking? And so what I'm hearing from your team is to really sit and get some tools, some drawing tools, some like a compass and some pencils, and really start studying sacred geometry, and calling in those that, you know, obviously our bro Medi and the way that he rolls, but Mother Nature and you know, I'm hearing the seraphim, the energy of the dogs and the deer and the turkeys and lightning and wind and rain, sunshine, snowflakes, and begin to put on paper what is within your heart in that way through sacred geometry in and of itself, and to allow yourself to get lost in the beauty of it, very much like the masters of kanji in that way, right? In that creation of the precise swooping movements, you know, the dips and the dives of it, the circular motion, and that will help you help yourself in the way that has these memories spiral up, that you become more of the observer, more of the cherisher, that it doesn't take you back to that exact moment. It no longer takes your breath away, but allows you to start to see it from more than just one perspective. There's something about the healer within us, right? And I'm also hearing maybe it's time for you to look at what's in your Chiron and seeing what your wounded healer is, and really kind of taking stock. But the Kayleigh that is here today is not the Kayleigh that I first met 3 years ago, or 4 now, maybe. I don't even know. And so I want you to take a moment and think about that as you turn back and you look at that beautiful Kayleigh of that time, and how she climbed, and how she persevered, and how she didn't give up. And I invite this beautiful Kayleigh in this moment of now to take that data and apply it forward to future Kayleigh. That's your homework. Okay, I'm done. I love you so much, Queen.
I can go next if you're into
I'll
it,
go
or
last.
if you feel comfortable. Okay. Yep. All right. So this is a massive time of curiosity for you, diving in, learning, approaching, grasping life by the balls. Okay. You have done the going through it and the learning yourself and the reflecting, and now it's time to take all of that knowledge and turn it into something different. So for you, you've got try something new. You've got the hummingbird, which is all about learning and getting curious. You've got Gemini, which is all about keeping an open mind. And you've got the same card as Mike. I surrender to a power greater than me. It is a lot about saying yes to things, getting fun, comfortable, doing things that you're not familiar with doing, learning new things, really diving in and getting out there and starting to live. So much of your time was spent in this beautiful womb phase of learning and growing and figuring things out and in the past, and now is really about grabbing the future and going and saying, what do I want the rest of my life to look like? So you've rolled the South Node and Libra in the 4th house. The 4th house is the Cancer house of roots. It's redefining the home. It's moving away from what the home used to be because it's South Node, and it's moving into what you want your home to be. So I want you to start taking a look at sometimes it's easiest to start with, and I'm sorry about the background noise, but sometimes it's easiest to start with the the physical of something before we move into shifting the spiritual of something. So if you need to change up the way your house looks, like physically move the furniture around or buy new decorations or add a little something cute to a wall or a shelf or something like that, and start putting away those memories in a little box that you share and you cherish and you love, a couple of hours a day, or maybe once or twice a day, you take a look at them, but really start putting out the new things that are new in your life, putting those up front so that you can see the journey from where you were to where you're going. We're done with the where we were, and now we're moving on to the where we're going, and you need to shift that physical space to look like that as well. So anything that pulls up bad memories for you, I want you to go ahead and put those away now. And anything in your current life or the life that you've been choosing, I want you to pull out and put in your immediate surroundings. So that's what you're seeing. That's what you're gravitating towards. The South Node. The South Node is what we already come in knowing. And you've got South Node Libra. Libras are very just. They want fairness. They kind of live occasionally more in like the mental realm. So they're a little bit more emotionally shallow, if you will. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just what allows them to keep impartial in things. We are moving away from that, and we're moving into Aries when we have a South Node in Libra. That means our North Node is moving towards Aries. And so that means taking on the spark of the new beginnings, redefining who you are, your approach to life, all of those things. That's what's burgeoning for you. That's what you want to focus on. And the hummingbird brings that energy, and Gemini brings that ability to take in new information really clearly and synthesize it in the brain. Okay, so get out there and try new things. Move forward. It's going to be absolutely beautiful for you. I'm so excited for this new Kelly moving forward. Also, I'll be right back.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to go?
I'm happy to. I just
Yeah.
sat and I'm just in a really weird, like, energy. It's very bizarre. It's kind of not sad, but not overwhelmed either. It's quite a nice, calm energy anyway. Like, we're feeling things, but we're not over feeling things anyway. So past energy coming into this, I have the Magician with the 8 of Cups, choosing a path, knowing it's the right one to do, knowing that it's not going to be an easy path. I think we all know this path that those that are reading know the path that this is probably speaking of hard decisions and manifesting a future where you've done you've done what you need to do. I do like that you fully embraced that it was going to be an emotional journey, and you knew that wasn't going to be easy, and that you knew you'd done everything you could in that situation. You had to walk away. You had to make the choice to turn and go and take the path that you did, fully in command of that. It was a destined path to do. And you have Gar as your rune, which is the inevitable end of where it is we're going to end up. It's about Odin's spear and the fact that no matter what direction he threw it, it would always hit its target. And that sometimes we go back and he would throw it backwards, and it would have to go back and then come forwards to come to where it is, or to go full circle around the earth to hit its target. It didn't matter what happened. It will always end up where it's supposed to end up. The thing with Gar as well is that sometimes it doesn't give us the answer direct. It doesn't give us the answer. It has to be experiential to actually get the outcome of when and how and things like that. So although it does always hit where it needs to go, it's just not necessarily going to be it's not going to be clear to us how that's going to happen. So yes, absolutely, it has to go that way. Current energy that is coming in this read is it's the 6 of Cups, but it has an air of 5 of Cups about it. It's like, I don't know if Mercury retrograde was really hard for you the last 3 or 4 weeks, in that this reflective period, and looking back at, you know, how you were tricked or how things didn't work out properly. Please don't sit and dwell over the minutiae of what happened, in the sense of, well, they told me this truth and I knew this was the truth, but they told me something else was the truth, or they told me they'd done this and they hadn't done this, or I feel like there's a lot of trying to work through those aspects. And that's okay. It's okay to go back and reflect, as long as we don't stay in nostalgia and we don't focus completely on the negatives. Even if it was a very negative situation, it's still worth taking the lessons and taking the positives from that situation. I survived it. I've learned from that. I've taken this. I'm now aware of this. Although it was very hard, I've taken this, this, and this from it. What I see coming in for you is a time of going through that, coming to that space, and as you go into it, it's almost like assessing, okay, well, this is where I am now, and there's an energy of spark and inspiration, and there's things you want to do. I don't know if there's a creative block right now of how to discern the way forward. I don't think you need to actively go and look for it, like look for inspiration outside. What you actually need to do is go within, and assess. You know, you've had a hell of a 2 years, Kayleigh. I don't know anyone that's done as much work as you over the last 2 years. I don't know anyone that was still standing of where you were 2 years ago. But there is this energy of sitting where you are now and going within and going, okay, I'm not the person I was 2 years ago. And that's a good thing, Kayleigh. That's a really good thing. Yes, I'm feeling blocked. Why am I feeling blocked? You know, if you're feeling blocked, sometimes I like to think of the universe when I get a block or that I can't go the place I want to go. I like to think of it as putting the bumpers up on a bowling alley. Like sometimes it's just buffering us back into where we're supposed to go. And sometimes there's a need to just be okay with that and just go back to, okay, I want to go there. Maybe that's not what I need. What do I need? And sometimes we're looking to escape with things that we want rather than looking at what we actually need. It's a bit like when you're hungry and you go, I want a chocolate bar, I'll have a chocolate bar, but that doesn't fill you up. That's not going to help you sustain on your journey. What you need is perhaps a bowl of porridge or a healthy sandwich, or God forbid, fruit or something like that. That's God forbid from my point of view, not yours, Kayleigh. But it's like, oh, okay, oh, and then you go to the fridge and there is no chocolate, because that's not what you need. The universe is going, you do not need more chocolate, Kayleigh. You need apples, and that's all there will be in the fridge is apples or something. So sometimes we are being given what we need, and it's about sitting and going, it's not giving me what I want, so what do I need? And it is just taking the time. You literally have the hermit. It's choosing to sit there and go, what do I need? What's working for me right now? What isn't working for me? And if I'm looking for something I want that is not great for me, or it keeps being blocked, why do I want that? Why do I want that? And it's about sitting with that. But you need to celebrate the progress that you've made. I don't think you, I think when you're in it, you can't fully comprehend how much growth and progress and healing you've done, Kayleigh. And oh my God. And yes, you might not feel like you're all the way there with it, but Mike, I don't know one person in my life, and this is genuine, I don't know one person in my life who has dealt with as much, still standing, healing, made some of the biggest, hardest decisions of their life, been through whatever the things, and back to back to back, and still be so grown and so strong 2 years down the line. It's inspiring, Kayleigh, and I don't think you quite realize just how inspirational you are. And I can never tell you that enough times. Also, this is really weird. I got Kate Bush Running Up the Hill go in my head, and that was, and literally as it was playing, I was singing it in my head. You know, ADHD brain, it sings it in your head. And someone was talking about a hill. I can't remember who it was because I wasn't here. Well, I was here, but I wasn't here. And I was like, oh, that's so funny, running up the hill. But the bit that really got me was making a deal with God. And I don't know if you keep trying to make a deal with God, it will just be an energy of, it will come when it comes. And you have Fehu, so follow inspiration, follow your gut with that. There are new things coming in, new growths coming in. Again, spring's really going to be a changing time for a lot of people. And I think for you, as it gets warmer, as you're going to feel the abundance coming in, and it's going to be so much more this year than it was the year before, and certainly more than the year before that. So when I say that, like, well, could it have been, you know, anything is better than that year? But there is this energy of, there is joy, there is celebration this year. There is a lot of fun and laughter, and summer in particular, I think, is going to be a really enjoyable time. I don't know if you've had an enjoyable summer for a while, but this is going to be, there's going to be giggles and fun and play. And that's really what I get. But that deal with God, I'd make a deal with God. And it is switching places, because when I first heard that song, I didn't realize that was about sex. I thought it was about somebody on the other side and somebody's left you. And then when I found out it was about sex, it changed the whole song for me. But it took me to the other side. Like, I wish I could swap places, and it felt like the grief aspect of how I used to see that song. And it's, I don't know, there's like a deal. Like, I just wish I could, I would take all their pain away, or I would, I'd switch places in a heartbeat. And I think it's about getting to the root of realizing completely that you can't do that right now. You can't. All you can do is get yourself ready, so when the moment comes, you're ready. And there's a need to process that. Still, not as much as, like, it's not as big as it used to be, but I think waves come along for that, and there's that aspect to it. Anyway, that's what I have. I'm done.
So I keep getting Julie Andrews. I could just imagine going up The Hills Are Alive for The Sound of Music. It's so bizarre. I'm going to do something a little bit different, if that's okay with everybody. Kayleigh, do you mind if I send you some healing over? Because Alfred has just said you can give Kayleigh a reading, but you need to send her some healing. So is that okay with everybody? Is that okay? I need your yes.
You have to do what you have to do. Yes.
I mean, you're the teacher in this, so hey, girl, hey.
Yeah, I know. It's like Alfred is going, Lorna, and I'm going, yes, don't start. So Alfred and Archie, they're my blue avians, but Alfred, he can be very strict with me. You've got to do it like that, and do like that, and do like that. You've got to do it properly. Yeah, or he just kicks in. So, okay, so if you shut your eyes for me, anybody can have this, really. It doesn't really matter. And I don't know why, but I feel that you've got back pain at the back. I don't know why. Just back, right on the bottom. Okay. Don't let me do this. Dalakia la koto shikisi alakia mayakoyo. Alakia mayakoto shikilakia. To ai alaki amayaki toto shikilaki mayakoto to amayakia to shikisi alakia mayakoyo. Alakia mayato shikisi a. O alakia mayakia to shikialaya. Ya mayako yo to ya mayako yo to hi ala shikisi ala hi ya mayaki ya to hi ala.
In true form, so much energy that she just dropped.
She just blew up the internet link. Yep.
It's still going. I can still feel it.
I can feel it coming in.
Akadash, man. When they... Yeah, you guys, for anyone who's watching, if you've never had a personal treat by allowing Lorna and her team do work, it's like nothing else, really. Here she comes. Oh, hey.
I just...
Yeah. I love how you're frozen like
That's
this
so
now.
weird. Can you hear me?
Is it? I don't think it's weird. Now when you're channeling energy, that
Wow.
directly.
Kelly's on fire.
Yeah, Kelly's on fire. Even we still were like, yeah, I
So
still
did
feel
you
her.
see all that?
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God, sorry.
No, it's beautiful.
That was strong. Okay.
It's a treat.
Okay, so we're going back to the hill now. So I picked up. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. So on top of the hill, you've got Atlantis.
Right.
And it's really weird. It's like you're going to build something and just allow people to go up there and read and just be what they want. And it's healing wisdom is surface. Stop and listen. But you also got ascending masters. And you also got your power animal. But I just felt for you that you needed healing. I can't believe that just went. But I hope that helps. Okay.
Feel complete.
That was really strong.
Yeah, yeah. It kicked you right off the internet. You broke the internet.
Oh my God.
Still going. I can still feel it.
And you just manifest what you want at this time. Oh no, I'm going to keep going. So, yeah. But you're just that Julie Andrews of just going up that hill and, well, running, literally, and singing.
I
And
think Kelly's
music
just
works so
turkey.
well with you. And the turkeys. Yeah,
Well, she
you
was
just have the
surrounded by the
animals that go
turkeys.
behind you.
I know. That's my dream.
I love that I
Right.
saw there were 36 now. There was like 23 the other day.
I know.
They just keep coming.
It's going to be Turkey Hill instead of Shepherd's Hill in a little bit.
She's like Noah, but with turkeys.
Yeah.
They just keep coming.
Well, and the deer coming too, which is pretty impressive because she's got the dogs. So there's that trust there. Yeah. Kelly, we're going to build the tree houses in the hobbit holes. It's going to be so fun.
They could be connected. It could like start underground and build above ground.
Oh,
That would be magical.
You just spoke to my soul right there.
You could use it like a walking meditation, like a walking journey. Like you could be on the plane. Do you want to go to the upper realm or do you want to go to the lower realm?
Oh my God.
Just putting that out there. Lorna, look what you've done.
I love it.
I just needed to do that. And I thought if I go at the end, I just like, but I hope it helps.
No, you always help. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Miss Kelly. We love you so much. Thank you to everyone who says yes. We've got Kim to finish out. Miss Kim, Chemistry, if you're here, please say hello. We will be back again. Please, thank you so much. You can find us in all the places, Magpie, Moonchild, Moonlight, Healing with Lorna Marshall. Sami and I roll around in Pellucidity. We've got websites and business pages and groups and delving into human design, just saying that's out there. Spiritual development, that's out there. We're here for it. There's podcasts and YouTubes and TikToks, and this turn is all about calling the tribe home, man, calling in our soul family. So let's connect. Let's get these sanctuaries all good to go, and we can continue to party. So Miss Kim, they had me pull your cards and everything, and I couldn't figure out why until this one thing. So I'm going to start with it because they were like, pull from this oracle deck, and I have this beautiful oracle deck that came to me somehow. It's called Wisdoms of the Oracle. That came to me when we were in Peoples, Ohio, at the Serpent's Mound. And card number 37, which is like, big in my life, right? Is the Never Ending Story card, which is the song that Sami and I were singing. And So I haven't used these cards in a while. And so I've got these cards pulled out for you, and we've got Nancy's cards, and we're going to go through it. But when I opened the deck, they said, this is for Kim. You are, in fact, sweet cinnamon spice. And that you should dip yourself in the hot waters and let your sweet cinnamon spice like literally change the coating of the water and then drain it. When you drain it, and bless the rest of the water and allow that water to go into the filtration systems, into the lakes, into the ocean, and then call it home. And so see how that comes and what that means. So we're going to get into it. So it feels like there is a question of direction a little bit. I'm not sure. It feels more like a crossroads because, well, you never seem directionless to me. But what they're showing is your full self is standing in the center. And then you've got these two beings on either side of you, right? That are kind of like in the corners. What I'm hearing is that these energies, whether they be human people or not, it's kind of hard to tell. They say that it's really important for you to discern this part, are creating conflict and are causing you to be a little blind. So I don't know if there's people around you that are not for your greatest and highest good, for your path to unity and for completion of your lessons. But they are siphoning your energy. We got the Strength card upside down. I don't like to use the term psychic vampire because it just doesn't make sense to me. But there are some people who are, it doesn't feel malicious. None of this feels malicious. I think they just kind of are in this narcissistic mode and don't really realize it. And maybe it comes from like a scarcity thing, or maybe they're afraid that, like there's a change coming or something and they're afraid you're going to leave. Maybe that's it. But are you feeling like more tired recently? They're just showing me like you're just needing more rest and your strength is happening. I don't know if that's metaphorical or physical, like an actual thing that's happening. So I really asked, next of like, what things that you need to know to really help you. And there was a calling of as you're standing at the crossroads, right? You've got these crossroads to create a white pyramid around yourself, or a golden pyramid, whatever color you want, right? And see, this is like you in the background, and then calling in your team around you, and then allowing this code of Trinity, right? This is the code of Trinity in the deck, to come in and to really sutra the unity within yourself. And this will allow your affirmations to pour from your own well. Almost as if you will open your mouth and the truth will just come out. Aloha, ilamuku. Okay, here's the second part of this. So these are the cards that it's like you're coming through this. Oh, okay, now I'm going to be OCD. So now they're like, it's this, we're moving into the time of the sleeping phoenix, right? This is what they talk about in human design, this next era. And it's about the rebirth of humanity and through our own design of following our own unique frequencies. And this is talked about all over the place. And, it's all part of ascension and all the stuff, right? But it's really important because you are the queen of fire. And I swear, I think I pulled this card for you like literally every time. There is a phoenix within you. And like when I tune into this, these cards came through, which I just find, right? So you're the sweet and cinnamon spice. Okay. There's an unfinished symphony. So you've come here to really finish your work. You've started it in multiple lives and you're like weaving it together, right? So there is this call to kind of call in all that glitters around you, to call in that treasure in itself. And it's not on an island, right? It's a movable thing. And so there's like a turtle on this. on this picture, there's a turtle in the ocean and it's got this treasure chest that's opened, right? And when it opens up, there's a lot of starfish, and hearts. So I encourage you to do some research on to do some research on Archangel Daniel, and kind of what they did and what they're about, and also do some tuning into the blue ray. That's part of something that you naturally do. I think you just naturally have this color within you that you share when you do your healings and stuff, and just kind of existing. Is that why it's the ocean? Maybe the blue is really important, but maybe almost as in this next turn, maybe the blue will help you see truth, bring peace. I've got the Sophia card right here, right? She's got the blue and the gold, right? There's something to that, something about helping humanity in that way by asking them. Maybe it is just a new service of yours or something where you instill the blue ray within for those who say yes. Once again, they're turning towards sound and music and light. So there's that trinity, right? With as above, so below, as within, so without. I hope this makes sense because they're sending me a lot of jumbled information. Yeah, it is. This will be a return to strength. And look, she's wearing a blue dress too. I hope that helps you. Oh, maybe you're supposed to go to Hawaii too. Do you ever want to go to Hawaii? I just find that such a fascinating thing. There's something about all of that. Maybe it's further south. Maybe it's more like Easter Islands. I don't know. Sea turtles. Okay. I hope all of that is helpful and makes sense to you. I'm done. That's crazy. I love it. Love you, Kim. Thank you so much.
So what I've noticed in my cards and with Allison's cards is this thread of gold and yellow. So just go ahead and notice that as I'm pulling these cards for you. So the first card is hope is the conduit for miracles. The bear. It's got a little yellow in the triangle. Yod, destiny. And then don't give up, the actual solar plexus card. And so this is a lot going to be about trusting your gut. There is the bear wakes up from its little slumber and it's ready to begin anew each year, right? There's something in that. The waiting period is coming to an end and the warmth of spring is coming towards you. Inner strength and trusting your voice and your gut and your intuition and not letting the other extraneous voices come into that flow is going to be a little important. And it sometimes, I know for me, because of the religious upbringing, I find that to be selfish. Like I've been trained as a child that believing my own self and putting everyone else's voices on the back burner for a little while is like this really selfish, ugly thing to do. But in fact, it's a way to really lean on yourself and find your inner strength and find your bearings and really what you want to see in the world, to actually find the spring of hope inside of you and to be able to not give up, because it's really, really hard to measure up to other people's ideals of you when you're just fine and you're totally complete as is, and you don't need to do anything extra. I've never actually pulled the Yod card or really researched it much, but from what I've read about it in the book, it is about doing things on your own. It is about standing strong, and it is about making a difference. It's the Ace of Swords reversed in the Tarot. It's kind of the similar vibe as that. So it's kind of discovering yourself after a period of confusion and figuring out what your destiny is and where you're going to move next. The dice I rolled for you was Gemini and Jupiter in the second house. The second house is the house of money, work, income, daily routines, material possessions. Jupiter expands that area out and brings abundance in that area. And then Gemini allows you to be able to be open to really good ideas to make more of that. So your guides are a talking. You just have to be open to hearing what they say and trust when that message and the gut lines up so that you can jump. That's where the new inspiration for the money and the income will come.
She's a Gemmy too.
Yeah. Yep. Trust the mind and also trust the gut. They're both valuable. Everyone else is going to have a lot of beautiful opinions. They really are. But your opinion right now is the one that matters. And it's funny because a Taurus will be a little bit like my way or the highway. And so is a bear, right?
Yeah.
And the tiger roars, right? So, yeah. Okay, I think that's everything.
It was so cute.
Are you ready, Kayleigh?
I can do. If you want me to.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is most bizarre. Anyway, so the first thing, I'm going to go past energy. Past energy, I have Page Cups, Night Discs. This feels very the energy of trying to create something, being very open to creativity, being very open to spiritual guidance, spiritual navigating, dreaming up, dreamscaping, all these wonderful energies, and trying to make that tangible on this plane. And historically, sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. It feels like there's a slight inconsistency of how certain things have come through to how they've panned out. And there's this kind of energy that's there. You have Hagalaz in the past, and that to me is the cold seed. So it's, for me in this instance, it's feeling like an energy of, yes, those things were cold, yes, those things were hard, yes, you took hits, but they brought wisdom with it. You know, when the hail melts, it goes and it waters and nourishes the earth, and water has memory. And so the things that you have learned from memory, that you remembered, the things that it's bringing through, these all bring us into a space of, they are lessons learned. When I go to create again, I now know what I need to bring in or what I need to work with in order to make that. I know what not to do now, at least, if nothing else. I know what not to do. There are every wrong is a right. It's like when you go wedding dress shopping, right? You try on all the wrong ones till you get to the right one. And sometimes we're learning from each of these things. And sometimes they'll get you to put on a dress that's completely wrong, nothing you like. And sometimes that is the perfect one. But it was in my case. There's always an exception, right? But they put it on just to prove that what you're looking for is what you're looking for. What I now see in the current energy is the Page of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. And I do feel this is still crafting, still creating, still working hard. And in the present, maybe it feels like there is traction at least happening now, that there is hard graft starting to pay off. With the Page of Wands, I feel there's perhaps it's starting to pay off, but it's not paying off perhaps as bigger dividends as you hoped it would. It's with the Page of Wands there, it's about not losing hope, not losing enthusiasm, keep going, keep creative. The benefit with the Page of Wands is being open to things that inspire you and allowing and trying new avenues and trying to get creative, or allowing creativity to happen and to find that spark again. And we're about to come into Imbolc, which is a fire festival at the beginning of February, and that is a really great time to turn into those creative energies and to tie into the potential that's tapped right under the surface. And I think although you're starting to see growth and dividends on the work that you've been doing, it's nowhere near what's going to be coming in through this summer for you. So this is a really good year for you to be manifesting and speaking, and literally speaking things into existence. And if what you feel is right for you is the right path for you, the most important thing when you're doing this is to speak with passion and to speak with joy and to follow, especially with that Page of Wands, follow things that you know are going to make your heart sing, because then it doesn't feel like work. It flows naturally. You're already in the vibe, you're energetic, because you're excited and passionate about it. It raises the vibe, it makes it come to you that much quicker. And this is really a year of, first of all, seeing what you view as success. And perhaps there are people that think a version of success is different to what your version of success is as well. So other people's descriptions of, well, it's a bit like you do something and you're like, this is amazing, I'm so proud of myself for this, and other people going, why? That doesn't make any sense. It's not a high paying job, it's not a thingy, a so and so. It means a lot to you, and actually if they're not celebrating your successes, I'm not sure they're your people. However, it is about your view of success. And this year is about certain things coming to an end. It's a transformational year, and I'm not going to pretend that that is going to be an easy year for you. It's going to be absolutely worth it, and there's going to be lots of abundance. But in order to have that new energy come in, old energy has to go. And it's going to be people that perhaps you felt have been pulling away for a little while, or feeling like it's not the right place for you for a little while. That is going to be going on through the at least the next couple of months, if not through the year, gradually, bit by bit. But the beautiful thing about the Death card is that when it comes to October time, you have finished this transformation and you are in a very different place than you are right now. What that looks like is completely up to you, right? You're creating your path and you're creating the way that you want things to be. And the more you align with that, the more you're going to make progress towards that. It really is about you claiming the life that you want and you speaking and manifesting that life into existence bit by bit. When I was sat in your energy, they kept telling me Reiki, which is really weird. I don't know if you work with Reiki, but it literally was coursing through me. And then it said water Reiki, and I don't know what that means. So I don't know if that's working with the element of water, literally putting Reiki into water and drinking it, which I know you can do, but they just gave me water Reiki as a thing. Also, there was an energy of anarchy that came through. They really like the keywords, right? There's a theme to this, okay? It was anarchy, and I don't know if this is you causing anarchy, if somebody's causing anarchy in your life, but they gave me anarchy. Then I was given the movie Karate Kid, and I have no idea how that applies. I'm just giving that to you. If it, like Lorna says, if it comes through, I have to give it to you. If it doesn't resonate, it's fine. Bin it. Just, it can't stay with me. And then I was shown a black horse. And you guys probably don't appreciate what I mean by the old Lloyd's Bank advert where they used to have the black horse running along the beach. It's like this black, and literally they were showing me that. That was a bank, for reference, for anybody who doesn't watch the old UK 90s bank adverts. But it wasn't that. It was showing me the black horse so I could see the black horse. And it is, horses are a strength animal, and they're about persistence, and it's about knowing when to nourish, and knowing when to grow, and knowing when to rest, because horses obviously carry lots of things. But the fact that it was black is symbolic that strength and passion will carry you through the most difficult of times, and it also is a symbol of mystery and hidden energies that maybe are not aware of you yet. And then they made the significance of the Chinese New Year being today, I believe it is, with the new moon. I know this year is a rabbit, but next year is the horse. So I don't know if this is things coming in, that this year is going to be a bit of a tough year with the transformation, and for next year to really flourish. Or I don't know if you are a Chinese horse. I'm a bull, so that's fun. So yeah, there's that kind of energy, or maybe look into the what that is to do with, like the year of the horse. What does that bring us as a person or symbolize? And then I was shown a staff that was made of hazel and applewood. And yes, absolutely, the woods have their own properties and all that. It's all about durability and things like that. But for me, it was really the timing of the year that they represent, which is August to September, which would then lead, and it's towards the end of September, which would lead into that death energy of the end of October. And perhaps that September and August might be, for it to have a staff, that is when you need you're on a spiritual path. To me, this is what it represents, a spiritual path. And that's why the Hermit has it, because it helps you to navigate those high climbs, that retreating, stepping into your own space, your own spiritual path, and that it's not going to be easy, but you have the staff there to help you navigate the tightness and the twisting. Sorry, my cat's being a pain in the butt. And you just, and I do feel that this year is going to be quite the twist for you. Like, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be like navigating it, but it's about you sticking to your path, because the Hermit is about going within, finding our own light, finding our own direction, and then following that our own North Star that we found within us. And so there's that kind of energy. And then they just kept going, Kala Kala Ki, Kala Kala Ki. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what it means. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure Kala is Hawaiian, and that's about unbinding and loosening. I will give you those. It's Kala, Kalaki. And that's all they kept saying to me over and over again. And that sent me to the god Lono. It sent me to the goddess of the hula, Laka or Laka. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But it was also a plant. It's a lily. A key is a lily, and it's about divine power and high ranking, and it's about, for me, that was a symbol of stepping into your own sovereignty and stepping into your own path and your own power in that way. And then I was given India, and then something about a divine princess, and that's all I have. And that was the weirdest one yet. That's what I have.
Well, mine's even weirder. So I'm like, literally, as I seen like Kim's name, it's Kim, isn't it? I'm sat, do you remember the old Western films where it's like, oh, is it the chaparral, where there's literally just sand or dirt, whatever, and you've got the old buildings, but I'm in front of a church and it's all white, and you've got to go through these doors to hold the bell and just literally ring that bell. But I feel with you at the moment, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, that you're quite unbalanced. There's been something isn't being right with your friendship with somebody. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is what I'm getting. You don't work well when you're unbalanced. I don't think anybody does, really, but you're a very sensitive soul. And also, you got the card of the sacral chakra, and you just got to be careful, because I got energy vampires again, because I know one of you said about energy vampires, and because the beauty is so beautiful in you, it's like you are a target that they'll just take off you. But this will be the year when you go in on your own, because you'll have that spirit within you to do things for yourself. And it's okay to work with people, but I think this is you standing in your own energy, and I think then you'll be more balanced, and then all your soul family will start coming in. And also, it's really weird when you were saying like the beach and the water. I actually picked from the mermaid deck for some unknown reason. And it's really weird, because I was sat there and I was literally going in the water and I was looking around and I seen you. And it's like beauty is within. It's like you will find that acceptance in yourself. You'll just have this big boost of energy that you'll be able to do whatever you want to do. And instead of people sucking energy, you can just go off, and then you will speak to people when you want to speak to them. But there is something about dreaming with you. You need to start writing. You need to start documenting, journaling your dreams, because there's messages in your dreams. And when I did get that, I pulled another mermaid and you got dreaming. So there are messages within that. And then it's really funny. I pulled you guided light card. Your choices are yours to make. Don't allow others to make your choices for you. It's freedom of choice, and it's number 2. Just do what you want to do. Be spontaneous. Go and do something. But it was really weird when I was literally sat in the square, and it's sort of like I felt quite lost within me, and I kept looking at that bell, and I'm thinking, do you know what? Ask the universe, and like with the full moon, the new moon, ask for, it's up to you, but I would ask for that energy of the moon to come straight through you, to give you that energy and that courage to step forth on your own, because you can do anything you want to do. But yeah. And you've got a heart of gold, but you've also got to protect yourself, because anybody will come at you and take your blood. God, what's wrong with me tonight? But yeah, I finished. But yeah, I think this year's going to be awesome.
Amazing. Thank you all so much for joining us. You can find us in all the places. Of course, always home on SaiYunaste Global. That's the public group where we all kind of post what's going on too. I always like to share our circles. So if you have something that you're doing and you want to share on that, just let me know. We can post it there. You know, this is the year calling the tribe. So if you feel anyone that resonates, that's home, that needs a home, send them our way. We've got all of our beautiful groups, you know. Always love to cruise to dark. You've heard that. There's so many tons of places to go. Thank you all for saying yes. I just feel super blessed and grateful to be in this circle of women. It's just been an incredible thing for me. And I'm really excited about what's coming out in the spring. And, you know, we've got stuff planned in the summer and travel, and there's going to be some beautiful things. So please keep your eyeballs open. I know there's like so many choices in our social media world and our real world. So we really appreciate you saying yes and trusting us. It's a real honor. This is what we've been called to do in our life, and we love it. And, you know, we always love to do more. So we'll be doing this again once we figure out a time where we'll line up. And I guess until next time.
It's 2222 right now here.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Ending broadcast.
Yay.
Goodbye,
Thank you, everyone. Bye.